Yes, people, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well on this fine Tuesday evening in November. City have qualified for the Champions League knockout stages. Again, we are on a mad European run when it comes to consecutive qualifications for the Champions League knockout stages. And we beat Young Boys 3-0 at home tonight. Haaland with 2. And, of course, Phil Foden, our star boy, with 1. Before we get into the ins and outs of it, there's a few stats on City Extra. We're going to do a bit of a review. There's a few quotes and comments, a few pieces of things worth talking about regarding the Champions League in general. I believe, just off the bat, I'm on the train. I'm on the hype train. I believe we're going to win the Champions League this year. I really do, and I'll explain to you why as we progress through the stream. But house rules, as always, do me a massive favor and smash a like on the stream. I hope you all did enjoy Geordie Porty's watch along. The text-to-speech thing seems to be quite interesting when you guys send super chats and that, and they come out loud on that. And of course, thank you all for 83.8k subscribers. We're getting close to 84. So listen, I suppose before we get into the good stuff on City Extra Twitter and a bit of a review, it was a decent performance tonight, Joe. 3-0 over Young Boys. They did get a red card. If I was a selfish man, a greedy man, I'd be saying we should have scored more goals. I think the finishing was a bit off at times. The stats suggest that we had 10 shots on target. So maybe we could have scored more. But at the end of the day, I suppose getting 3 points and no injuries is kind of priority really right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, qualification was pretty much set. Like, I think we all expected to qualify, but yeah, I mean, I kind of just agree with the sentiments. I think in front of goal, we could have been better, but we did exactly what we needed to. We went out there. It's our first clean sheet in the Champions League this season, which I find is mental considering it's taken us 4 games to get one. But that's not important. The important thing is we win, we get the 3 points. We're qualified. I believe a draw against Leipzig would be enough to see us top the group. So we're in a very good position now where we can maybe try, Pep can do his little experiments now, have a few games where he can try a few different things.
Yeah, look, the reality is I believe we're going to top the group. As you said, we're pretty close to it. So I think Pep's thought process with the Champions League, especially when you get a group like the one we got this year, which is, with all due respect to the other teams, easy compared to other groups. You know what I mean? It's no group of death. Let's just get qualification as soon as possible. Get it out of the way as soon as possible. And the fact that we have qualification secured now, coming into the thickness of November, December type fixtures, will mean Pep doesn't have to go full strength in the remaining 2 fixtures, I believe it is. 2 more fixtures, isn't it? Like in November, we have Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool. We have Villa away in December. We have Luton away in December. We have some really tricky fixtures coming up around the sort of festive period. And they're not, it's a nice little luxury to not have to essentially play your Erling Haalands, your Rodris, even though you got a rest tonight. I mean, it's just an all-round good thing. Obviously, Rodri getting a rest tonight was huge. We thought with Haaland's potential injury on the weekend to Bournemouth, he might not play tonight. But I think what I said about Pep Guardiola, just wanting to secure qualification as soon as possible, is applicable to why he played Erling Haaland. And Erling Haaland was great tonight, wasn't he? I mean, the penalty was decent. And then what a tap-in merchant. I mean, you know what I mean? This guy only scored tap-ins. No, tonight he said, I'm not a tap-in merchant. And he scored a great goal from the edge of the box. Did you see at halftime, Joe, the Young Boys captain, I tweeted this. He asked at half time, bro, for Haaland.
Ridiculous.
He gave it to him. What are you doing, man? You can't do that.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I can't believe he actually like gave it to him and all in the end as well. I think it was just to try and get him to go away.
You could see Haaland was just like, all right, mate, here you go. I have the shirt, just leave me alone. Like, in my opinion, if I was a Young Boys fan looking at that, I'd be a bit like, yo, you're our captain. We're losing this game. We want qualification. We want Europa League. Whatever your goal is, your objective. Stop asking the big striker for his jersey at half time and focus on the goddamn game, mate, not the time. But listen, Haaland was exceptional tonight. The full stats for the 3-0 say we had 71% possession, which is pretty decent. We had 27 shots on target, or 27 shots in total, 10 on target. Don't know what you think of that. 6 corners. We had 5 fouls. Am I right in reading this? That we had 0 goal kicks, and then we had 6 big chances. Am I reading this right? I'm on Freddie. If you're in the chat.
I'm seeing it as well. I'm bemused.
0 goal kicks. Is that must be some sort of a record in its own right? But here's a really cool stat. Man City have now won 100 matches in major European competitions, becoming the second quickest of the 6 English sides to reach a century of wins. Second quickest, yeah. 52 of those victories have come under Pep Guardiola. It took us 183 matches to reach 100 match wins in major European competitions. That's not bad for a club with no history, as they say, Joe.
Yeah, it shows our consistency over the last decade or so, that we always qualify for the Champions League. We always qualify for the knockout stages. And, last year we finally reached the final hurdle, which was winning the thing. But, our record just in Europe has been exceptional for the last couple of years. We just haven't managed to get over the final hurdle. But we've done that now, so again, like you said, I back us to win it now that we've done it before. I really back us.
Yeah, I do want to move on to eventually chat, by the way. I do want to have a proper chat about whether we can win this competition or not. Like I said early doors, I think we're going to win it. I really believe we're going to win it. But we broke another record this evening. Apparently, we broke a record. Man City now hold the English record for the longest unbeaten streak in Europe with 18 games. So no other English club has ever gone 18 games in Europe unbeaten, and little old City have just gone and done it. I mean, I go over so often on this channel, people, how Pep Guardiola has changed our club. He's changed football. He's revolutionized it domestically. He's setting records in Europe. He's doing things that not many managers can do. And this is just another, I suppose, nice little accolade for him to hold this record. But listen, we've been absolutely exceptional, I think, in the way we've managed European football in the last 2 seasons. You know what I mean? Last season with the treble, early doors. I remember what game was it? There was one game in the group stages where I was a bit like, I don't know if this feels like the year we're going to win the Champions League. But then you kind of saw as the season unfolded how Pep was controlling Europe. Away games, not too bothered about going out and blitzing teams the way we would have done in previous years, and then bring them back to the Etihad. And you do blitz them. You know what I mean? You do put them to the sword. So he's become really pragmatic and clever in the way he approaches European competition. Ederson has now won 50 Champions League games, 46 for Man City, 4 Benfica, becoming just the 8th goalkeeper to reach this milestone of the competition and the fastest to do so, with 75 appearances. So Ederson, we're doing special things left, right, and centre. This club is absolutely smashing it, and our 11th season consecutive with qualification for the Champions League. It's look, with tonight, it was by no means our most exciting or our best performance, Joe. It was just about getting the job done.
Yeah, we did that. I mean, Young Boys, it didn't help with the red card, of course, but they didn't have a shot. So that makes me believe the goal kicks thing is right, because if they're not having a shot, they're not putting it out for a goal kick, are they? Which is mental. But the difference in class was there to be seen. I mean, they set up with a back 5 and they were still just getting caught apart. They didn't really seem to have an answer for anyone. I was really impressed with Mateus Nunes, to be honest. I've never been his biggest fan, but I think tonight he played really well. He won the penalty. He was linking up play. He was dragging out to the right. He was almost our widest player on the right at some times. I think maybe he's another one where you can look at his finishing and go, maybe there's a little bit of room to improve, maybe hit the target a couple of times, but I thought he was really good today. Haaland gets his 2 goals. Foden gets a goal. We rest key players. We're ready for Chelsea now. That's all eyes on Chelsea.
I think Foden has possibly gone below the radar today. and in general. Do you know what I mean? I'm constantly seeing comparisons and like, is Foden good enough? Is he good? Is he as good as people say? Is he the star boy? You know, like
Oh,
what?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but someone just put it in the chat and I went to check. John Stones is injured.
Stone's injured.
By Pep breaking, John Stones will be ruled out through injury for a while, says Pep Guardiola.
Oh, I'm sick of this. I am
That's not
sick of this,
ideal.
mate. I'm sick of this. I'm sick
It's
of
always
this.
him. It's always him.
It's always John Stones, man. Oh, it's always John Stones. Oh, I love
Oh,
John
that's
Stones.
bad.
I love John Stones, but the guy's made of biscuits, digestive biscuits, Rocky Road dessert settings. You know what I'm saying? It's getting out of hand how injury prone this guy is. I love him. He's such a silky footballer, and when he's fit and he's firing, there's very few better than him in the business. And I thought he had a decent game tonight before he came off, but I thought it was just a precaution. He's injured again. Bro.
Ah, that's painful, you know, because you said it when we played Bournemouth. You put out a tweet and you said it again on the Big Steve show that when him and Rodri went off, you know, the control dips. That's bad, especially when we got Chelsea next at Stamford Bridge as well. That's painful.
Bro, you need John Stones for these big fixtures coming up. You need Stones going to Stamford Bridge. You need Stones with Liverpool and Tottenham coming to the Etihad. I'm telling you, it's for anybody who watches us on a week-to-week basis. It's glaringly obvious that, you know, first of all, having Rodri in the pitch is crucial to control the game and important to the way we play. And then adding Stones in on top of that, you know, it really backs that up and complements it and gives us a proper grip hold of the game and allows us to play fluently in the way we like to. Not having John Stones, man, the guy's so injury prone. I love him, I really do, but he's so goddamn injury prone, man. What's the issue this time? Anybody in the chat, man? Is there any more news?
I don't know. The only thing I see is that he'll be ruled out for injury for a while, which leads me to believe that he's done his hamstring again, probably, because he keeps on doing it. And there's the thing. There's another quote here, actually. John felt it again. I feel so sorry for him. It's a big loss for us. John is so important for what he does. But recover and the season is long. He will be back stronger. I think he will be out for a while. It's the full quote.
Oh, fuck off.
That's a real sour note because everything was so perfect. Like you think, I thought it was just a precaution as well because he didn't look injured. He didn't pull up with anything. He looked fine. I thought it was a precaution. We got Chelsea on Sunday. He'll take him off because we're winning 2-0, you know, and we'll just see the game out. But that's bad.
That's the thing with hamstring injuries, though. You can't tell by the way they walk or by the way they look. They're just deceiving hamstring injuries. You know what I mean? It probably is. I think you're right. I put money on it. It's probably his hamstrings again. And this is the issue, people, with hamstring injuries. And we've seen it with Kevin De Bruyne. They are so like, what's the word I'm looking for? So easily damaged. And once you damage them badly once, you're constantly fearing it's going to happen again. If your hamstring goes badly once, it increases the risk of the hamstring going badly again. And we saw it with Kevin De Bruyne in June, then again, you know, following up in August, rushed him back too soon. And now we're seeing it with John Stones. Not to say we've rushed John Stones back, because I don't think we have. But that's the thing with hamstrings. Once you damage it once, you damage it again. Oh, mate, that's done my head in, you know. That's put a real sour note on a good night. I can't lie, because John Stones is that guy, you know what I mean? He really is so important. There's like 4 players in the team that are 4, let me think. You got Stones, Diaz, Rodri, De Bruyne, and Haaland, yeah? Stones, Diaz, Rodri, De Bruyne, Haaland. Any of those 5 get injured, it's a big blow. We're already down Kevin De Bruyne, and now we're down John Stones again. It's just like, you know, we're having no luck. And you see all these other clubs and all these other teams crying about, oh, we have injuries. Bro, our best 2 players are constantly injured, or 2 of our best players are constantly injured, and then Rodri has to play every week anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I know we have international break.
It's not good.
I know, Punny, we have international break after Chelsea, but if it's his hamstring, and listen, they obviously haven't done any assessments on it yet, but if he's saying he's going to be out for a while now, straight after the game, the physios and the doctors must have looked at it straight after the game and gone, yeah, like, we haven't done the actual assessment yet, but we know by looking at it and doing tests, it's not good. So, John Stones, That's jarring, man. That's jarring. I can't lie, man.
It's because that's he kind of just dropped with it at the start of the season. Do you remember? He played in the Community Shield. He was fine. He was completely fine. And then he just goes missing for like 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. And then we miss him. And then he comes back. And again, I don't think we've done anything wrong. I don't think this is a sort of De Bruyne situation like you were maybe alluding to where, I don't think it's similar to that where he played through it to the point of it failed him. We didn't do that. I think we managed John Stones, or we tried to manage John Stones on his way back. I mean, he's been, he's missed a couple of games. He's been on the bench. He's not done the 90 minutes for a while. Like, we've tried our best to manage him. He's just gone again.
Yeah. Edge, I think he will miss Spurs and Liverpool. If they're saying they think he's going to be out for a while, I hope they're over exaggerating it for now. Maybe with Chelsea in mind, so Chelsea think John Stones won't be available, or this is me being hyper optimistic, but my brain's telling me John Stones is now out for a while. Look, that's a big blow. Chat, man. Chat, there's 120 in the building. Do me a favor, smash a like on this stream. It helps us massively, and subscribe if you're new. Douglas, that's awful news about John Stones. Look, I feel bad for him, man. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for us as a fan base because we love him so much and he's so good. But I feel bad for him because he has no luck. And he's always been an injury-prone player, John Stones. He has. But this season, the guy's had absolutely nada luck. Injured in the Community Shield, doesn't play for about 8 weeks, comes back, plays 3 or 4 games, he's injured again. Captain Cadbury term, I tell you for a fact, Witherspoon, Calvin Phillips ain't going to play. Calvin Phillips, you are not going to play, mate. But look, listen, like I said, 130 in the building. Smash a like, subscribe if you're new around here. The John Stones thing has upset me now. It has upset me because I kind of felt like, we had a feel-good factor there. We knew De Bruyne was injured, and we kind of came to terms with that. Beat Bournemouth 6-1, qualified for the Champions League, beat Brighton. Yeah, we're playing, beat United, all that good stuff. And then, the devil has to come in with a bit of a hammer, whatever the phrase is. But look, it is what it is. We'll do a proper show on John Stones tomorrow. We'll go back to the feel-good factor, I suppose. I was saying about Phil Foden. I had some stats on Phil Foden, and people are always talking about Foden versus Saka and Star Boys this and Star Boys that. Foden tonight, 1 goal, 70 touches, 39 accurate passes with a 76% accurate pass, or 76% pass accuracy, 4 ground just 1. I thought he was fantastic tonight, and I thought his goal was absolutely fantastic tonight, Joe. I think he's better on the right, in all honesty.
Yeah, and I think it kind of leans into another point. When Doku comes on, Doku on the left, Foden was on the right, Grealish was in the middle. So that leads me to believe that Foden is just going to be a right-handed, right-hand side player for us. At least for this season, I think the whole midfield experiment is done, or at least done for now, because it just didn't work. I mean, he's so much better on the right. That's where we've got the most out of him. Again, he scored today. I thought he was really good. Surprised that he maybe saw out the 90 minutes. I maybe thought with Chelsea in mind he might be one to get a rest, but I mean, it's whatever. He didn't get injured, thank God. But this Foden Saka thing, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. But I mean, I know who I'd rather have. I'd rather have Phil Foden in my team. I'd much rather have Phil Foden in my team.
Foden turns up at the big moments, man. He does. Came on Champions League final, unexpectedly, and he was fantastic in the middle of the park. I think for Phil Foden, it's kind of what we've been saying for a long time. It's about nailing down a position, and this is no, I suppose, kick or stray at Phil Foden. But I think right now he cooks on the right hand side, so just play him on the right hand side. Don't need to play him in the middle. I'm a massive fan of this midfield that Pep has constructed in the last few weeks of Rodri, Bernardo, and Alvarez. I think the intensity, the tempo, the energy, and the control in those 3 players. And I think Alvarez, a rest for him tonight was well needed as well because he's played a lot of football. But I think Alvarez, as Steve said it last night, he thinks Alvarez is he's actually massively improved his overall footballing ability this season, and that's probably through pressure. You know what I mean? When you take players out of their natural position or natural habitat, like Alvarez being a striker, and throw him into being a midfielder, it's kind of sink or swim. Either you'll put him in there and he simply won't be able to do it. He'll crack, it won't work, and everyone goes, shit, take him out and put him back to being a number 9 or a backup number 9. But in Alvarez's case, it was he knuckled down, he worked on it, he was getting assists, getting goals. That's what we know he's good at. But as an overall footballer, he has massively improved. I think that midfield balance of Rodri, Bernardo, Alvarez That's what I'd want to see on Sunday, Joe, in Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, the balance is there because you look at Rodri, he brings more physicality, the defensive side, the calmness on the ball. You look at Bernardo Silva, he has calmness on the ball, but he's got great energy, unbelievable energy. He runs his socks off. And then Alvarez has got that final third product, which, it gives us the balance because we've got the three areas covered where, we've got two really energetic players. I mean, Alvarez and Bernardo, they will just run for 90 minutes. And, it's hard to play against that sometimes. So the balance just works better. It's worked for us. I mean, look at Alvarez. His start to the season was unbelievable. And again, like you said, as a footballer, he's made drastic improvements. His touch, his passing, his calmness on the ball, he's much less likely to give it away. I mean, when he first came, his touch was a bit off. But, I mean, like you said, he's just improved so much as a footballer. And it is due to the fact that was his chance. That was his opportunity. There's no De Bruyne for the first half of the season. His chance was right there, staring him in the face. You go in that role and make it your own. You go play.
Should we win the Premier League or the Champions League or both, or do a treble? People, you never know. Again, this season, you're at the end of the season, like you have to give massive credit to Alvarez because of how he's held it down throughout this De Bruyne injury. There's no doubt when De Bruyne got injured badly and we knew he was going to be out for 5-6 months, that there was panic. I'd say there was definitely a level of panic in the dressing room of like, oh shit, this ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Like we need Kev, and then lo and behold, Alvarez steps up. I said around that time that we need players to step up. We have the quality. It's about players wanting it and stepping up. And Alvarez has stepped up. He really, really has. I think Foden has too at times, particularly on the right-hand side. So I like that Bernardo Foden or Bernardo Alvarez, Rodri midfield. I think, like you said, the energy those three will bring. There's no midfield in Europe is going to match us or outdo us for intensity in the middle of the park with those three. That's fact, and that's why, or it's a massive contribution as to why I believe we're going to win the Champions League this season. I really, really do. With the Champions League over the years, Joe, even when we were making content together on the old channel, whenever we'd ask ourselves around this time of the year, could we win the Champions League? Can we win the Champions League? We'd always say, yeah, we can. But we'd always be a bit tepid about it. We'd be a bit kind of like, yeah, we can, we could, we should, but something's going to go wrong eventually. You know what I mean? Like it always does. Pep will do his overthinking. Pep will do his Pep roulette. He'll go gung-ho out in the Bernabeu. He'll go gung-ho at times where he shouldn't. He'll try to, blitz teams when he doesn't need to. But now, as a City fan, having watched last season and so far this season, and once again referencing what I said about being pragmatic in the competition, I think we have the firepower, the quality, and the know-how. The big thing is the know-how, and then finally, I don't look at anybody else in the competition, with the minor exception of Real Madrid because of the Jude Bellingham factor, and maybe Bayern Munich because of the Harry Kane factor. I don't look at anybody and go, you're going to knock us out, or you probably could knock us out. I think as long as we play our game against anybody in European football to a high standard, we beat them. I really believe we're going to win the Champions League this year. Now, a lot of things have to go our way. You need a bit of luck to win this competition, but I just think it's there for us. I really think it's there for us to go and win back-to-back.
It's there. I think, I was a little bit sort of, maybe not worried, but maybe watching a little bit more when Bayern Munich signed Harry Kane, because that was the thing that kind of let them down last year against us is, they had their chances. They didn't take them. And then you add Harry Kane to that mix and you think, that makes Bayern a real contender. But it's not clicking. It's really not clicking. I mean, they were knocked out by like a third division German side in the cup the other week. Like, it's really not going swimmingly over at Bayern Munich. So I don't look at them and go, I look at them, and if we were to draw them again, they would give us a tough time. Of course they would. It's Bayern Munich. But I'm not looking at them and being scared and thinking they could really knock us out. I still have the same thing for Madrid. You can never, ever write Real Madrid off in this competition. You can't do it. If you do it, then you're setting up to fail. Because, I mean, we kind of did. Remember when we did that? It's like trauma at this point, isn't it? Going back over the years and the ways that we've been knocked out. But the two Rodrigo goals and the Benzema penalty, that was like we let off for 5 minutes and we were out.
War that night. Me and you had a full-on argument. Those three, we were losing our heads completely.
I don't know. That was a wild time, but it's true, isn't it? We let off for 5 minutes and we got knocked out. That's the reality of the situation with Real Madrid. You just cannot let off with that team, and like you said with Bellingham, the amount of game winners he's scored is unbelievable. Like it's unreal. He really is the one that got away from us. So apart from Real Madrid, I don't look at any other team and go, I wouldn't be confident. I really wouldn't be confident. And then even when I look to Real Madrid, if we do exactly what we did last year, which is keep the away leg tight and bring it back home, we win the competition. We will win the competition because that's what we did with Real Madrid. We kept it tight, 1-1 at the Bernabeu. A lot of people looked to that and went, it's advantage City. We had the advantage after drawing 1-1 at their place. We bring them back to the Etihad, 4-0. It wasn't even a contest. It didn't get close. So I really, really back us. If we play exactly how we did last year in keeping the away games tight and bringing it home, I think we will win the competition because that is exactly how we won it last year.
For me, it's just don't lose away from home. Don't lose. And listen, trust me, I know it's much easier said than done when you're going to places like the Bernabeu where, it's cringy and all, but you have to bring in all and heritage. You do. You really do, because we've learned the hard way a couple of times. Aura, man, it does come and sting you every now and again. But my thing is, if you can emulate even our away performances in the Champions League last year, I don't believe anyone's beating us at home, or at least no one's making me shit myself when they come to the Etihad. We have turned the Etihad into a European fortress. We simply have. Look at us. We just made a record tonight for the longest unbeaten streak in Champions League, whatever it was. I don't know when the last time was we lost in the Champions League at home or anything like that. I think we've made the Etihad a European fortress, and God willing, we don't have any major injuries and that kind of thing. Chat, I'm going to put my neck out on the line here, and I'll say it on any other shows I'm on too. I believe we're going to win the Champions League back to back. I really are. And I think there's a fairy tale to be had here. I love a good fairy tale me. You know what I'm saying? Tinkerbell on that. I like that. Wembley final in May. I think we're going there. And I think we're going to win it. You can call me crazy. I'm a hopeless optimist. But that's my opinion, chap. That's my opinion.
You've always been a hopeless optimist ever since I've known you.
Joe knows me a lot longer than a lot of you people. I was making content with Joe on the old channel. I've always been a hopeless optimist. I always get a bit giddy. But listen, we've had a fantastic start to the season. We're top of the Premier League. Put it, I don't know about treble, man. I don't know about treble. Well, that's a mythical thing. You know what I mean? I know we won it last year, but treble is like a, far, far away type thing, because the FA Cup will throw spanners in there and we will totally focus on the Champions League and the Premier League. But we've had a fantastic start to the season. We're top of the Premier League. We're a couple points better off in the Premier League at this point now than we were at this point last season. We've qualified for the Champions League knockout stages with two games to go. This is all with a Kevin De Bruyne injury, and essentially the exact same for John Stones, because he only came back for 2 or 3 games and got injured again. So no Kevin De Bruyne, no John Stones, top of the Premier League, Champions League qualification. If you ask me, that's pretty fucking good going.
I mean, considering we don't normally start this well in the Premier League, we're not normally top at this point. We're normally a few points behind playing catch-up due to the nature of how we go about things. Then, been an unbelievable start with, like you said, 2 of our best players essentially missing for the entire season. And we've also lost to Arsenal, which are one of our main title contenders, and we're still top.
Exactly. Like, I think the next few weeks will be a massive, massive decider or indication of how the season's going to pan out. I said on the Big Six last night, we will win the Premier League. I believe we will. I mean that. But the next few weeks for me will decide whether we win it with that game's a spare type thing, or a good few points, or whether it kind of goes down to close to the wire like a Liverpool type season, or last 3 or 4 games like it was with Arsenal. So the next few weeks, people, are absolutely huge, and they're the kind of weeks where you don't need Stones, De Bruyne injuries. So Rodri getting a rest, great. Alvarez getting a rest, because we absolutely need those players to turn up in the next few weeks. But listen, we're going to call it a day there. Half an hour stream, just giving our thoughts on qualification, Champions League. Can we win it? Yes, we can. Yes, we will, says myself. Big up Joe for coming on very short notice. Joe is over on my personal channel starting very soon. You're going to be making your own City content. I hope to get him on here to feature quite regularly or as much as he's available. And I'm also going to be on that personal channel as well, helping him when I can. But I'm going to do reaction type videos to other content creators because this is a city space, but I want to be able to talk about things going on in the wider space as well. So I'm going to use HMTV. So go over to HMTV and show support there. Joe will be doing city content and I'll be doing wider content, mainly reaction stuff. You know, when like Saeed drops a banger and he's fuming after he's fuming after United have got thumped 3-0 by someone. I want to react to his fan cam, or I want to react to his angry reaction. I want to react to AFTV when they lose their plot. I want to react to League Gunner expressions. All of you lot, none of you are safe. I'm going to react to all of you. So listen, HMTV, that's where you'll find me doing that and Joe doing his city thing. Expressions punny, of course, man, of course. That's where you'll find both of us doing our thing. So listen, big up to Joe, man. Big up to Joe. And yeah, listen, big up to everybody tonight, man. Big up to everybody for the super chats and the watch along. For getting us to 83.8 thousand subscribers, on the road to 84, getting really close now. And yeah, big up, smash a like on the stream if you would. It really, 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 really does help. And yeah, man, we'll see you all very soon in a bit.